I'm trying to get to a game soon, man. Hopefully next week.
I might go tomorrow if you don't hit it tonight.
Good evening, guys. Wednesday evening. We're here with Gabriel. Before we get into it, let me play this video. Yesterday was our 1-year anniversary officially. So I want to play this video real quick. We've been playing it on social media for the last week and a half. But here you go. So, welcome to the show. Welcome, Gabriel. Thanks for coming on. So, Alex, you know, I got to be honest with you, dude. Like, I blacked out when I had the escort service, and he's like, "Hey, are you the one that had the escort service?" You know, everybody says, "Yeah." I'm saying, were you the hockey player? No, were you the guy that had an escort service? So I guess that's my leg.
Yeah, it was a hockey escort service.
Yeah,
right, pretty much.
Exactly.
my life.
Low blows and cheap shots.
Yeah, I have daughters, so I hate.
Gotta have all your teeth though.
I hate that. If they
Actually,
were living,
no teeth is. But never mind. Sorry, Drake.
Ooh, only the two.
Real. But you know, if I lived in Detroit, I would hate that to be the topic of if they were asked, "Oh, your dad? Oh, yeah, he used to have an escort service." What?
Oh yeah, that's my dad.
That's my dad. So
my dad run O's.
Right. Yeah, my dad's a pimp.
I know my mom.
A pimp.
Are you in your pimp mobile? I was like, what?
Maybe. Depends who's asking.
It depends on asking. So, Gabriel Cervantes, I guess when you mentioned that, I guess he's Nasty Nick and Paul's buddy.
Don't connect them together. Just
okay.
They know that.
That sounded like the beginning of an interesting story.
No, they're good friends of mine, of all of ours. But I'm just talking crap about them. Yeah, I love.
So did you go to? I didn't ask you. Did you go to St. L's?
I didn't go to St. L's. I went to. I was in Southwest Detroit during like the middle school era. Our Lady Queen of Angels, St. Hedwig's, Holy Trinity. Actually, Alex, that's where we went to school with you. We went to school with you at Holy Trinity, didn't we?
Right. See, he's thinking of your older brother. So he's thinking of your older brother, sister. Yeah, he was the baby, man. He's the baby, right?
The youngest one, man.
Right. Yeah, because I knew them since
I went
grade
to
school. So
too, but it was a long time ago.
But congrats on the 1 year to all three of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very cool, man.
Thank you.
I don't think I ever asked Alex that. So you said you went to Holy Trinity?
I did, yeah.
Was Sister Mary Queen still there?
Yes, sir. Yup.
She's like a
Mary Queen. Don't ever call her a queen.
She was rowdy.
She was. Well, I'm just saying she was like a time
Mary Queen.
She looked old. She looked old in the 70s. It was just weird, but
right.
Dude, my memory of Holy Trinity was swinging around the flagpole. Do you remember kids used to swing around the flagpole?
Yeah.
I don't know if it was
How did they do that?
There
like
was
on the rope?
The rope that you used to raise the flag up and down, like they put their foot in it, and then someone would push them and just swing all the way around the flagpole.
I do remember that. Now that you bring
Dangerous
it up,
as fuck.
I never did it, but yeah, they used to do that and get in trouble.
Anybody ever slip?
No, I don't remember anyone ever slipping.
Fucked up.
No.
Crazy. Yeah, there's a lot of little. It's crazy because there's a lot of little things. When he had the escort service, not the first building, but the second one, it was on. Gosh, I always forget the name of the street. Right across the street from the park. Brooklyn. So he was right across the street from there. So I used to love going to the escort service to work and be across there because there was just so many memories over there. They remodeled everything. So
I
it
owned
was just cool to be over there.
I had the whores upstairs. Sorry.
Didn't you have like nuns and cops across the street too, or something?
I had the
well, that's right down the street from the police station, the state police station, or it used to be.
And then, and I'll tell you, I think I've told you before, Dave, but I'll tell you. So at the time, the police was basically arrested me because he found out there was an escort service there. So he said that they were finding needles. At the time, when I went to school, that was the nuns and the priest's house. But at the time, it was like a women's, like a women's shelter. Okay. So they said he was finding needles in the park, and I was, there was whores upstairs. So he was basically, threatening me if I didn't pay him weekly that he would turn me into the police. So he was basically hustling me because he lived.
That was for the one on Michigan Avenue or the second one?
No, at Holy Trinity. We're talking about
Brooklyn. On Brooklyn Street.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the priest was hustling you?
Yeah, the priest was basically blackmailing me if I didn't pay him weekly.
He was a priest. I don't remember him being.
He was a priest. Yeah, he was a priest. Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a priest to run people's pockets.
Yeah, and so I thought he lived in the church or
convent or whatever. Yeah,
you're supposed to the rectory or whatever. He actually lived in Irish Hills. So, and that's the reason.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so he was a baller.
What was his? Well, you know,
yeah, you were paying him well.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep. He wanted $1,000 a week for him to be quiet, and he used to bring me up in his what do you call that? When he would during church sermon. Yeah, so he would bring me up and say, "Yeah, there's whores across the street."
So he said that in the whole community behind him, man.
Yeah. And tell them that everything was legit and this and that, and we had to go to a bunch of meetings, and he was trying to get us out of there.
Yeah.
And once he said he gave me the envelope and said that's what he wanted, he went away. So kind of funny though, right?
Yeah, that's all it takes is a white envelope, bro.
Yeah, he was extorting me basically. So
awesome, man.
Yeah. So you went to Holy Trinity, and then where'd you go from there?
We moved around like during those years. I think we left Southwest Detroit in maybe 97 or 96 or something like that.
Okay.
But I went to St. Hedwig's, and then mostly Our Lady Queen of Angels, which is where I know Nick and Paul and those guys. Oscar, that's where we met all those guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we were talking 97, and then you said you moved out.
Moved to Redford.
Did you go to Redford High?
No, Thurston.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't know where
it's like 96 and like Beach Daily.
Beach Daily area. Yeah, I used to run with some hood ass kids from over there.
You were, man. It was a mixed little crowd, dude. And I did everything I could do. I did everything I could to escape it, which included coming down to the escort service on the weekends.
I'm going to stop you there. So my question to you is, so let's say Paul or Nick has this conversation with you. Hey, we're going to go to this escort service. And you're like, huh? What? Like, what was that conversation like? You remember?
Oh, man, I was so close, dude, to Paul, especially Paul, more so than Nick, but Nick too, But, man, I was just, wherever they went, I was just always there, dude. I didn't care. Those were my boys, man.
Did they tell you where they were going?
Yeah. How did we first come across it? Because I think I didn't know you, Dreek, until then. And then I think I did know JR, though. It was just like, these guys opened the escort service. I'm going to be a driver. Paul's like, I'm going to be a driver. I'm going to be a driver, Dad.
Yeah, he's make it sound like he's joining WWE or something crazy like that.
Yeah.
For real, yeah. I mean, it was just like, yeah. I mean, it was good money, man. If you're, at the right days, right time, right girl. But
So let me ask you a
ain't
question.
nothing to be,
I have a girl.
proud about.
Like I said, I blacked out pretty much around that time. I don't even. There's a lot of things I don't remember, and it's not that I did drugs or I drank a lot. I just didn't really. You know what I mean? There was so much.
Yeah, I didn't retain it.
Yeah, just so much in and out, in and out, in and out, or whatever. You know what I mean? So, is there a story that maybe you could share that I don't remember? Like, I always love to hear stories. Alex tells me a story.
I don't think he was there that much. Was you? You was there that many times? I don't remember you.
I would come around like on the weekends, man. I would come around
Right,
on the
and you
weekends
guys-
more so. And
Yeah,
it was more in passing.
And leave, I believe. Yeah.
Is there a story
Exactly.
Is there a story that sticks out to you?
God, not really, man. I think me and Paul went at it in some karate because Paul was telling them he was a black belt, and I remember throwing some kicks around or some shit like that. It was kind of a blur for me too, man.
Right.
It was a blur. Yeah. So when you walked in the office, it was a credit union, right? So they had a bulletproof glass on the one. You had to buzz in to get in. And then we had the couches and we had the big screen.
You can see out but can't see in.
Yeah, you can see in, see out. And then the office was,
Right.
through the hallway. We had a pool table. We had video games and, all
Goddamn fun house.
Yeah, fun house. And then you had whores on the couch.
Them girls were spoiled.
Yeah, they were spoiled. And then,
Man.
some of them would fall asleep because they were all fucking heroined out and shit. So I just want just remember if you knew. So
that's how you
know what? I think there was.
Well, it happens.
I think most of that stuff maybe I didn't even realize was going on, man. To be honest with you.
Right.
It was a shit show, man. There was, like I said, there was girls that were doing drugs. Everybody was smoking weed. It was a party, drinking, playing craps on the outside. We had the parking lot. And then at the time, no, I don't think I moved out or whatever. I lived up, to be honest with you, I lived upstairs from the video store, but I can't remember if I had the escort service at the time. So there was just a constant party of what was going on. And then it moved on to the bar, and then it moved on to the police.
Yeah.
I was across the street from, it looks like all the police stations, it seemed like.
It didn't help that we were DJing. We were kind of at the end of the line with DJing at that time, but we were still doing stuff here and there.
Yeah, you
all
guys
that mixed together, man.
Used to DJ a lot, man. I remember that.
Right.
So you end up graduating from and what was the name of the high school again? I'm sorry.
From Thurston High School, man. Thurston High School. So then I went to Michigan State and studied. Go white. I studied hospitality business. So when I went to school, I went there with the intention of, building a career in food, man, in the food service business.
Because I know you said you were in the financial world, so you were thinking about food at the time. Okay, go ahead.
Yep, I was. That was always kind of the original plan, and it's just funny how they say things come full circle, right? So I got out of school. I worked in restaurants for a few years, and then just got kind of like, I guess, lured away into the sales world. Just thinking I'd make more money, work less, stuff like that. Man, that's never how it works. But in the end, I think that food bug, man, just always wanting to start something food related and be self-employed, just never really left me and never got out of me.
Right.
So that's when I launched this 2 years ago, man. This El Cazo.
Hold on real quick. We're going to stay with the timeline. So you were at Michigan State. What year did you graduate from Michigan State?
2006.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. And then
that's awesome.
I got to be. So was there any crazy parties? Because I could tell you me and Alex's crazy party story, but go ahead. Was there any crazy?
Dude,
it wasn't at State.
It was a 5-year crazy party, man.
Dude, State is the craziest party college ever. Like
that's why
every time you turned around, and you were probably going to class drunk and everything.
Oh my god, dude!
That's how you passed.
Yeah, I passed. Right.
Right. Exactly.
Were
you and Jack Daniels.
Sorry. Was you part of a fraternity?
No, I wasn't. I just I had a close knit group of friends. I went to school. My cousin went to school with me there, so we were always roommates throughout college. And yeah, man, I managed to get my ass a degree from there, and then moved to Hawaii, man.
Oh wow!
And that's where you met your wife, correct?
Correct. I met my wife at Michigan State.
Oh, at Michigan State.
Nice.
You guys
Yes,
moved up.
and
So,
she's from there. She's from Hawaii. So after school, we just went back out there to Hawaii.
So,
Oh,
Alex,
that's awesome.
what college did we DJ with that whole old dirty?
That was
beat?
at Michigan. Yeah, we DJ'd Michigan sorority, all girls sorority party, man.
You want to tell that story, or you want me to tell the story?
I don't even remember the story.
State girls are way
I don't remember
hotter.
nothing.
I said what I said.
We were
That's
DJing.
right.
I just remember DJing.
I remember
Getting
university,
paid good and
and it was a sorority, and we were sitting there, and I don't know if you remember Jamie, little Viper driver, and it was me, Alex, and I can't remember if it was Jimmy.
okay. I forgot about that part of the night. I'm
It was
sorry.
me. I don't know if you remember Jimmy or not, but so we were at this party, and it was winding down. We started, and this guy at the time, Old Dirty Bastard, was popular, right? So we're DJing, we're breaking down stuff, and this white guy comes up to us. He goes, "You know who ODB is?" And we go, "Yeah, of course we know who it is." And he goes, "Well, that's Old Dirty Butt over there," and he was talking about a girl.
This girl that was, she was standing like right next to us. We were just in a almost little circle together getting drinks and stuff, and
Yeah.
guy said that, and we're just like, what? Like, oh my God. And she just was like, she was just socializing with us. She was really, really drunk, and just one of the oddest girls I've ever been around. I was just like, oh my God.
He dropped that this is Old Dirty Butt. We just was like,
we were just like, wow. We started laughing, and then we started seeing why he called her that.
Why he was saying
She was just like picking her
Nasty.
nose.
hell.
Doing a lot of
hell.
not
man.
at
Drunk
Michigan
stuff,
State,
man.
man. There was
Just
none of
no,
that at
that's
Michigan
sloppy
State.
drunk woman stuff.
Never.
And that's actually
Parties
that's
don't do that
actually where it
shit.
was at. Yeah, it was at Michigan. I was trying to remember it because we did a couple things at both.
She
colleges
digging in her
and stuff.
booty and all that. In her
She
nose.
did that. So we were going up to the room, not just me and her, like a couple of
Oh,
us.
you
and we're
invited
just-
her to the room?
I didn't invite her. anywhere.
She's at her dorm. So we're just
okay.
hanging out, and we're just going up there with her, she's to have drinks and just chill a little bit longer before we leave. And she walks from one dorm straight across to her friends or to hers, wherever. She was going back and forth. And she did that. She dug her, wedgie out, whatever. And I was just like, damn. She was snorting.
The
Just
digging
all
scoop.
these little things that would be such a turnoff. And she wasn't a bad looking girl, but with all that shit, man, I was like, okay.
Yeah,
She might be
there you
the
go.
original ODB, but
Old Dirty.
You should have went to party in East Lansing, man.
that was pretty funny
Exactly.
though, that night. Yeah, we had a good time.
That's funny you mentioned Little Viper though, because I Paul was telling me that he does produce or something like that, right? He works for like a produce company.
Yeah,
So I tried hitting him on Facebook to get the hookup for the elotes, man, because sometimes he can't find corn, dude. And I'm still waiting for him to
I
respond.
see.
So Jamie, if you see this, man, check your Facebook, dude.
Right.
You need that corn hookup.
Yeah.
Not too long ago, we were at the bar having a couple drinks. So you graduate from Michigan State. You guys moved to Hawaii. How long were you guys in Hawaii?
We were there, so we ended up moving to Michigan at the end of we were there for about 10 years, man.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Where were you guys? Big Island? Were you at,
Oahu.
small? Okay, Oahu. Okay.
Oahu, yeah.
Okay.
So that's like the main island in terms of like population and, economy and everything.
Right.
Okay.
So did you guys leave?
Awesome.
It was so fucking expensive.
You know what? That was a piece of it, but I think we both just kind of outgrew my wife outgrew some of the career opportunities that were out there for her, and she got a good offer from Shinola here in Detroit.
Oh wow.
And it really, piqued her interest. And I was always game to move back because I got family here. It's home. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we ended up making the jump in at the end of 2015.
Okay. So you guys move, and then you say you go into finance, correct?
I went into finance in Hawaii. So I started with Merrill Lynch in Honolulu as a financial advisor.
Okay. So you stay in that career path. You get a job in Michigan with another financial company, probably.
Correct. Yep.
And then you say in 2018, you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. I like to cook, so let me open a food truck. So what was that? How challenging was that? Because you open it, and then boom, you're into COVID. So
yeah,
I mean, that's got to be pretty challenging, correct?
Yeah. When did you actually start? Like, what year or what month?
Yeah, that's a good question. So let me look at the timeline again. So we're 2000. I left the bank, I think in November of 2019. But I was just taking like a high level view at my career in finance, and I really didn't see, the passion wasn't there, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's so important with whatever you're doing. Like if you love it, if you're proud of that, whatever you're putting out, it makes work not feel so much like work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't have that, and then my progression, like up the corporate ladder, because these are very big corporations I was working with, was just backwards. So I just said, I used to sit with all these business owners as a banker, and I would get to know their stories, and I would see what they were doing. And it was just so inspiring, man, that I just took the dive, dude.
Yeah,
I just
you're
took
like,
the
I
jump.
can do this.
Yep. I have my wife's support, so that helps too.
Mm-hmm.
So November of 2019, the country already probably not in December, January, they already know about COVID. It's in wherever the hell you want to say it started. Trump say China, whatever it started, right? So you're seeing it going everywhere. By March, we're shut down. Do you have the food truck by then?
Yes. So from November to like February, all I was doing was getting the health department licenses, kind of building out a framework for a business plan, trying to build a network, because, this wasn't just me leaving a job and starting my own business. This was a complete industry and career change. So I had a network of restaurant owners in the Detroit area prior to this. So I'm just out there. I'm doing pop-ups at bars and stuff like that. Abix Bar, shout out to Abix Bar. Did a lot of pop-ups there to get the name out. Bought the trailer, got it built out.
I seen you.
Right.
You was everywhere.
Right.
That's how I came across you.
Yeah.
Was by you.
COVID
setting up
March,
somewhere.
Everything shuts down. Do you keep going? Because I know a lot of people shut down, and then as soon as you were able to reopen, food trucks and takeout was the thing. There was no sit-down restaurant. So, tell me, how long did you shut down?
Right. So the week that I was going to open my doors and be ready is the week that everything shut down, like you said. So I just kind of had this oh shit moment, and I just thought I didn't really know what to do. So we did a charitable thing. That was our maiden voyage. As I went and fed like 200 or 250 hospital workers, because COVID was like a big thing, right? So put some good vibes out there and reap them back. And then I reached out to Abix Bar and just everyone in my network. I ended up posting up at Abix Bar on the patio and just using it as like a soft opening, because all of the taco trucks and restaurants were closed. So it was just me and Farian. They were open for like 2 months.
Yeah.
I just grinded, man. I said, dude, if I go down, I'm going down swinging, and just freaking keep going, man.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
and helping people.
That's awesome that you went and fed the healthcare workers and put that vibe out there. That's so awesome. Good job.
Thank you.
So in the food industry, everything shuts down. Dining shuts down, especially in Michigan. Here, I got to be honest with you, we are a Republican state, so we really technically never closed down. You would hate to say that, but we technically never really closed. But
they don't treat it the same here.
Yeah, in your state, you got big Gwen, and she shuts everything down, right?
Gretch.
Gretch.
Big Gretch.
Gretch,
Like
yes.
Gwendolyn? Who's that?
Stephanie. Stephanie. So she shuts everything down, dine-in, but takeout is still a thing. And you see, like, you're like crushing it at that point, right? Because everybody they still want to eat, right?
It helped, man. So that's one way of looking at it, because I wouldn't say I was crushing it because I was still so new to the business that, you know, I was still trying to figure out my processes to get my volume up. But the demand was there. You have to look at the other side too, because a lot of people will say, well, the restaurant's closed and you guys were considered essential because you're takeout or whatever. So that helped you. But then you got to look at the side that every graduation party, every wedding, every festival that I was planning on, Campus Martius, all of that shut down, dude. We lost all of that.
Yeah.
So
Was it hard? Yeah. Was it hard for you to get all your supplies and all the things you needed as well?
Yes, it was terrible, man. Like at one point I was thinking of like becoming like the best vegetarian taco chef ever, because you couldn't get meat. You couldn't get pork, dude.
I could only imagine.
Damn.
So, you know, you go through that progression, the learning process. When did the process become easier? When did some of those restraints, when did you had access to meat at that point? When was that?
That probably, I'd say things cleaned up a little better around maybe July. They started to at least get a little more structure. Mm-hmm. And then I also got into a niche. The Metro Detroit food truck scene is a pretty close-knit community. I got to admit, I was pretty surprised to find that people actually support each other and help, rather than, you know, oh, don't tell him what we're doing, like keep it a secret. So the subdivision things where everyone just kind of goes to a different subdivision and sets up food, I started doing that around July. So the demand really went up. And then at the same time, some of the restrictions lifted. So I was able to get a couple people to come actually work with me to help me handle the volume.
Okay.
Right.
And I think I talked to you and you said you did that till about November. And then after November, you kind of put it away because you were like, wait a minute, I'm not making the same type of money I was making in the summertime.
For sure. So it's very seasonal. Being my first year doing it too, like when the November rolled around, I was still out there, but the sales were so low. It was cold. And I'm thinking, like, I started talking with some of the other food truck guys, and some of them shut down for the season. Some of them, you know, will do like caterings. Everybody does a different thing. Mm-hmm. For me, I ended up shutting down for the season, and I just worked. I worked in a restaurant while I, you know, kind of made plans for the next season, man. And here we are, and this season's been even stronger.
So when did you open? Did you open in about the springtime, or when did you open back up?
March.
Okay, so March.
Yeah.
You've been doing it ever since.
Yep, ever since, man. Just
so the structure getting better. You know, you're saying that, you know, might have a little hard time getting corn. Is a lot of that stuff getting better, or is it kind of like, you know, it's a hit or miss?
It's better. It's way better than last year. So, I mean, there's still some things that are kind of like I was telling you today, man, tortillas. So that's a curveball for today, but it's way better. Like this year too, I have a commercial kitchen that I rent where I can prep really, really large amounts of food. The license I have from the health department, it allows me to prep the food on the truck, but there's only so much space. So it's just so much better to have this kitchen this year that I didn't have last year. So that's another thing, you know, the structure, the infrastructure.
Yeah,
like you're talking
I've been
about.
hearing a lot of people do that. A friend of mine back in Detroit, she has a truck, and she said that she does the same thing. She preps her food in a larger kitchen. It just makes it easier so that she's not crossing any boundaries when she's trying to do it in the truck with the limited space.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good idea.
So it helps to have that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And to have extra too, I'm sure, you know, when you're doing that. So
yeah.
So your food, what would you say? Because I know different people have different, you know, taco trucks. Well, I'm from Jalisco. I'm from Guadalajara. Where would you say, like, where you know, your recipes?
Like as far as like a regional, you know, part of Mexico, I don't know if I could identify with one, man. I just do everything on my menu was like just a piece of my childhood, to be honest with you. It really is, man.
Basics.
Down to the freaking salsas, dude.
Really?
You know, like every like the green salsa I use, my sister used to make it. You know, rest in peace. Love her to death. She was an awesome cook, but I took that from her. The red salsa is something that I got from one of my aunts in Chicago. The chicken tacos, that's my mom's thing. The carne asada, that's just kind of something that I grew up eating in Southwest Detroit. You know, the carnitas are something that another Southwest Detroit taco staple. You know what I mean?
He just checked in. There it is, JR.
Oh, JR, what up, dude? If you even remember me, man, it's been forever. So
after the
show, so you know, you got a mixture of every different type of food based on different family members. How hard was it to come up with your menu?
Not hard at all.
Not hard at all. Okay,
dude, I had it in here for years, man. I'm telling you, I did. I had it in there for years, dude. I knew it. I knew exactly what I was gonna do. I had to pull the trigger. I never pulled the trigger.
Okay. And what about, you know, we talked about competition. If you were in Southwest Detroit, you got to do the $3 taco thing or $2 or, you know, $1.75. You were like, you know what? I'm not going to even fuck with that. I'm just going to go to the burbs, sell a better product and charge more money, right? That's what
$5 a taco.
Whose idea was that your idea? Was that the wife? You know what I mean?
It wasn't really, man. It wasn't really part of the plan. It was just one of those things that kind of arose last year during COVID when the whole subdivision idea started going crazy.
Right.
And it forced me to move around because I was in Southwest Detroit and I was staying down there because I didn't know where to go, man, to be honest with you. And then the subdivision thing came out and I started going to the Oakland County, all these West Bloomfield, and that's when it hit me like, man, I've charged 4 times as much out here, and still be delivering value.
Yeah, all the Karens love tacos.
My sister, when she moved out to East Point now, but it was East Detroit back then. Her and my brother-in-law, I think they had like small conversations about doing a restaurant out there, and man, I wish they would have because I think they would have cleaned house because back then when they moved out there, I never seen nothing like that. No, you know, Mexican restaurants or taquerias or anything like that out there. So, but yeah,
they had one. They had one because that's where I grew up after my family moved out of Detroit.
Right.
My mother moved out of Detroit when I was in 9th grade. And there was one that was on 9 Mile, and it was literally like a little hut. But man, they threw down. Their food was fire. But they would be lined up around the door into the parking lot.
Maybe that's the one that my sister and brother-in-law seen, and maybe gave them the idea. You know,
probably it was a little hut.
Right. That's where they lived in the area. So yeah.
A lot of these other food trucks that go to the subdivisions, the ones on the east side, man, you're right. Those are the busiest ones, dude. Those are the busiest subs, bro.
Right. Right.
So
find that hot spot.
In November, are you shutting down again in November, or are you going to try to push through the winter?
I am going to do a little bit of both, man. So I'm trying to there's a couple ways for me to go about it. So if I'm going to run this thing throughout the winter, I've got to find a permanent location. I've got a 10,000 pound trailer, and I'll get stuck at the end of my driveway if there's 4 inches of snow.
Right.
You know what I mean? So and that's what some of these trucks do is they'll find a permanent location during the winter and just run that like 5 days a week or something. So that's one option. Another option is to possibly continue working, like get a job like I did last year, but on the side, do some sort of thing like someone was giving me a really good idea about like taco kits and possibly getting taco kits in stores.
That's a good idea, right?
That's stuff like that.
Right.
But also, another good idea somebody did. There was a woman she had a truck, but it was like cupcakes and cookies. And she did the cookie tubs for the schools. So even maybe taco
Oh, wow.
kits for the schools or some kind of fundraising,
Right.
ones that they do that. But also, catering and stuff. Those are all
For
always
sure.
good things with the holiday parties,
Yeah.
Just an idea.
They started here like a community kitchen. I don't know if Tori's ever been to one. So it's a bunch of different taco trucks or a bunch of different food trucks. They get together, they use this kitchen, and your people that like your food could still get your food. They just go to this kitchen.
That's cool.
It's just,
cool.
Really? Where's this place at? This place is goodness.
It's in Gilbert. So it's and there's one.
I'm about to drive.
Yeah, so it's just a bunch of different restaurants, and all they do is serve takeout.
Really?
Yeah, so they have a bunch of restaurants
That's
got
cool as
together,
hell.
rented a space.
Okay.
Yeah, so it seems to work. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, you can't
Like
go
the
in.
Gibraltar of food restaurants.
You can't go in there and order. You got to order through an app, and then boom, they get it, and you get your food.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. They do in Detroit. It's been a few years, Alex. You probably know what it is, and they have them in other parts of the country. But they do that shipping container thing.
Oh yeah.
You talking about downtown?
Yeah, there's one downtown. It's called Detroit Shipping.
Yeah, okay. I was just trying to remember. Are you the one that just posted something about that, or was that somebody else? Like a couple days ago.
No, that wasn't me. That wasn't me.
Okay, well,
But that's another thing I think that might be a little bit similar to what you're talking about.
Yeah, that food is really good in there too, man. We used to have our marketing meetings in there, and they got upstairs offices and stuff. It's really cool.
Oh yeah, you can kind of rent them out for the
place.
meetings.
Yeah, it's like a little food court downstairs, and then offices are upstairs. And stuff like that. You can have group meetings and or whatever. Yeah, that's a really cool. That I would definitely call them and check them out.
Another good
just to get
thing
an idea.
For holidays. I know people who they cater corporate parties. They have tons of parties where they want them to bring food in, and everybody fucking loves tacos. They really do. It's like
simple, good.
Yeah,
like,
it's the magic
convenient
food for people. It's the one thing that everybody
I feel like it's a staple food. I feel like you're right, because I've got to admit that's not. My phone rings a lot now without me really having to do anything. But I think a big part of that is simply because it's Mexican food. It's just it's so in demand. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Barbecue. That's another one.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
My mom does barbecue. They love it.
Lobster that we talked about, that lobster lady.
The lobster one, yeah.
The
I'm
lobster.
so hungry right now.
I already knew after the show I'm gonna be starving. I already knew that.
Fat ass hungry.
Top selling dish right now, and what is your best tasting dish?
The number one selling thing is carne asada tacos, man.
Okay.
Cilantro, onions, and salsas. I do a red and a green salsa. So the green has the avocado and the tomatillo, and then the red one is chile puya with tomatillo. So that's carne asada just sells all day long. And then I would say probably the best tasting, or maybe one of the favorites, man, is the Cuban sandwich, which I don't always run. I don't always run it because
oh, delicious.
It slows down the line. It's not the fastest. We grill everything to order. We roast the lechon ourselves, slice it. When you order it, we grill it off. But the Cuban sandwich, if I ever run it as a special, that's gone in like an hour, man. That's really good.
Not bad.
It's like your Whopper and shit.
For you. So there was a TikTok, and guy says you're either Mexican or you're Mexican. So are you Mexican? And I'm going to ask you what the difference. So a Mexican has a college degree, and a Mexican got tapatio in their back pocket. So which one are you?
That's a good question, man. I'm Mexican, man. I'm Mexican, dude. Hey, bro, I'm down with the culture, man.
Yeah, like if you're Mexican, you do all your banking at the party store, and I'm like, God damn.
Oh my God! Right?
Yeah, you can take the degree away, and I'll still be happy with the tapatio in my pocket, man.
Hey, there you go.
Right.
So
You're making all of our listeners hungry right now.
So what is that for Gabriel? I know we talked about you want a brick and mortar. Is that a 5-year plan? Are you really thinking about getting a restaurant, or you're really happy with what's going on with the food truck?
No, this is what I'm doing right now is definitely a gateway, man. It's a stepping stone. It's the way I knew how to start. You know, I felt it would be more manageable just being a little bit smaller. There's a book that I'm listening to for the second time called The E-Myth. You guys ever hear of The E-Myth?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. So the E-Myth talks about, you know, taking. There you go. That's where I listen to it. But that concept of, you know, looking at your business in terms of a franchise and having like really, really efficient systems in place. That's my ultimate goal, is to build it to where I can just have multiple locations of brick and mortars.
Okay.
Nice.
And that's as long as it takes, man.
For our listeners, where do we find you at? Where do we find you on social media? Is there any events that you're doing an upcoming? Because I know Labor Day definitely here is a big of, you know, events. Are you doing anything in the next week or so for Labor Day, and where do we find you?
Yeah, so I appreciate you asking that. So this weekend, which is, help me out, guys, with the dates today. This Saturday,
20th, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, this
Look at us.
Saturday
Nobody knows
is
the
the
date.
21st.
Yeah, the 21st.
The 21st will be at Eastern Market Brewing Company over in Eastern Market from 11 a.m. to, I typically say 3, but if it's busy, we'll keep cranking till like 5 o'clock.
Okay.
But,
You know what?
that's a really
I'm
fun area. I'm doing a lot of private, like, you know, graduation parties, weddings, stuff like that. So I'm booked mostly with that, but to keep up with, you know, the more public things, the breweries, the subdivisions, EL_Cazo is the Instagram tag, and I update that at EL_CAZO with public locations and different menu items, specials. So please check us out. Support us, man. We'll feed you.
Sure.
No problem.
Yeah.
Thanks
For
for
sure.
coming on again, man. I appreciate it. We'll let you get back. I know you're trying to find these tortillas, so definitely.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Have you tried the Hacienda? Have you ever dealt with them? Because that's a friend of my family. So I was just curious. You don't know about Hacienda?
Are you talking about over in the tortilla company?
There's one on Buchanan and then one on where's the original one? Gosh, on Burner, across from the McDonald's.
Yeah, Werner.
Right behind.
No.
You know. Okay.
No, man.
Okay.
I
Well,
don't.
I'll get with you. I'll get with you and give you her information, and
Yeah,
you
what's
can
her
get with her and see.
Actually,
Her
delivery.
name is Lydia Gutierrez. She's a friend of the family for a long, long time. So
Yeah,
that's what she
shoot her my
specializes in,
profile,
man.
dude. Yeah, appreciate it, man. Shoot her my profile,
Sure.
dude.
And August 21st, that's on a Saturday. I will check with Jamie. I'll try to get a hold of him and see if he's actually working that day, because he usually works Saturdays. And
Okay.
let him know, you know, to go and check you out, and he'll probably grab a bite to eat too. So
For sure, man. For sure.
So we appreciate you coming on.
Thanks again.
Thanks for joining us and making us all hungry too.
Yeah,
No,
it's great
thank
to
you
see
guys,
you
man.
again.
Keep
Thank
up
you
the great
guys.
work. I can't wait to come and get a taco when I'm in town.
For sure.
Yeah,
It was a lot of fun, and you guys are
Really good
doing
to
a good
see you
job.
again, man.
Congratulations on the 1 year.
Thanks.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. And congratulations to you on everything.
night.
Absolutely.
Thanks, man.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
All right, y'all. God bless.
Yep.
God bless.
Same to you, man.
So
And now I'm hungry.
you know,
I'm like mouth drooling.
About to eat some
I'm
cat
like,
treats.
I
I'm about to eat
can't-
some cat treats in a minute.
I'm like trying to smell a Cuban sandwich right now. I'm like, this sounds fucking I smacked my lips like 4 times while he was talking.
I talked to him on Sunday, and he's like, "Oh, you had the guy with the escort service." I'm like, "Man, that's everything. I had escort service." I'm like,
Yeah, well,
Some things, you know, just don't go away.
"I guess not."
that happens.
I'm
My
timeless.
famous line, it happens.
It's legend. It's a legendary place. It was a legendary place, bro.
I guess
At
so.
least, I guess.
I guess so. What the hell?
Thank you for the congratulations, Fallon. We appreciate your viewing and watching and all your love and support. Thanks.
Thank you, Fallon. So I was in California in the month of July, right? And I went through a lot of. I opened my mail, and I noticed that I had like the toll, like from California. There's a lot of toll roads in California.
I got one too.
It was like 5 fucking violations, and I'm like, no, I paid like
I paid mine too.
I paid like 4, and I told her when I called, she was like, oh, it's gonna be like $400. I was like, what? What are you talking about? Like I
had 500 in my head for some reason, but
so you call if they check your license plate, if your license plate never had any violations, and it's the first time they'll waive everything.
Oh, okay.
Well, mine was in a rental car, and I know for sure I missed one, but the rest I paid. But I got 2, and I'm not happy about it because it wasn't that much, and because it was in a rental car, they already had my debit card number, so they just took it upon themselves to charge me.
Oh, that would have pissed. Yeah, it's like it's done and over with, but you win in my shit.
Right. So
I paid 3, so I only owed 2, and it was like $20. So I was like, oh yeah, cool.
Yeah, it was only $20, but I was pissed because I didn't owe the 20. I know damn well I paid for all of them except for one, and the one I didn't pay was only because it wouldn't take my money. I kept putting it in and it kept spitting it out, and I was like,
oh my god,
this is frustrating as fuck, right? And then they got like a little hut there with a car parked, but there's fucking nobody in there. And if you drive up, I don't know, fuck that.
Yeah, it was just a bunch of bullshit.
All right, it's such bullshit. Finally, I just took all the change in my purse and I just fucking threw it in the thing. They probably got like $12, and I just threw it out with pennies, everything. I was so fucking mad.
Right. You're like, here.
Then they got another.
You threw your.
That's funny as hell.
I did.
If I could.
I was standing outside of the car because I'm short, so I'm trying to reach and I can't. And then the money's coming back at me, and Dom's like, "Oh, the fuck is that?" He's like, "Are we gonna go to jail?" I'm like, "We're not fucking going to jail. Just calm down.
Give me your change. You got any change in your pocket?"
All the change, I just started dumping it in there. I was like, "That should cover it." Evidently not.
Pay that shit. Pay that man his money.
They're so ridiculous with that shit.
So I know we talked off air. So Nati is negative for COVID. So, but my uncle told me his granddaughter, she just went back to school and she's positive. So,
oh no, how old is she?
She's first grade.
Oh my goodness,
baby.
Yeah.
Prayers.
It's just crazy that the way these kids are getting sick, like this. So. I know this wasn't part of the stories, but in Washington, they're making a mandate for a vaccine for K-12 teachers, school staff, coaches, bus drivers, school volunteers, higher education staff, facilities contractors, and most children providers. And the mandate is by October 18th. So, and unfortunately, we are a Republican state, but I got to be honest with you, some of the Democratic states probably will follow these mandates. So I think the whole nation should be mandated. You know what I mean? You're teaching our kids. You know what I mean? I don't know. So
it's so hard. It's so hard. Like I don't even know. It's just hard all the way around. It's just a hard call, right? But
go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
No. But
no, I was just gonna say, and you know what? I should have sent it to you, but it was like a 5-minute little not rant, but they were just talking about the variant, and talking about like the other the flu. How they want everybody to get the booster shot. Like this is like the flu shot that you would get for the flu. Like it's a different type of flu now. It's not the same flu you had when you was a kid, and the variant is a lot stronger. The other virus, COVID virus, wasn't attacking the younger kids. This one is.
Right.
So, like, just get it, man. Just get it. And they're just talking about that, and the athletes should get that. And I know we'll talk about that in a minute here with one of the stories and stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's just, Drake was talking about it nonstop when he was there. He said the word variant about 30 times, and so. It's just scary. And like I said, once, what else do you need to know? It's getting kids sick. I mean, just get the Pope, man. Just get the Pope.
Yeah.
Get the shot.
It's because they shot up so much, it's getting a little scarier again, or it already is.
Right.
Oh yeah, it's getting scary. That's for sure.
We're pulling troops out slowly out of Afghanistan, but this is the devastation that happened with Vietnam. It's sad. So if some people fell to their death, they don't.
Insane.
They don't want us to leave. And
Wasn't there somebody that was found inside the control panel?
I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, I read that there was a body found inside the control panel.
Oh my goodness.
They got in, but didn't survive.
Yeah, I watched a little feature on the news yesterday. I was just like, wow.
The Taliban's going to make a message. They're going to behead regular citizens to show that they're back in power.
Yeah,
so.
They said they were surrounding, like you said, surrounding the airports, and just it's crazy, man. Wow, pretty big mess. Biden's got himself into a little bit there, and I don't know. I think he needs to own up to it, man. I was reading a little something on John F. Kennedy when he made a mistake and owned up to it, and I don't want to get into it too much because I don't know too much unless I do my research and stuff like that. But they were just comparing this to that, with John F. Kennedy, and man. I mean, you got to be there for the people. Biden, he's got to, just like I said, own up to whatever mistakes he made, and don't lose the people that you just got, gained. So, want him to be on your side, I guess. So, I mean, that was all I could get out of it. But yeah, very sad situation when I seen that on the news last night.
Yeah, it's sad. From that angle, of these people they needing the support and all that, but then I'm seeing other people that are showing so much hatred towards them, and I don't understand why.
Right.
They're human. These are innocent civilians that need your help. I don't know any. I couldn't just look at somebody and see them needing that help and just leave them. It's so hard. The whole thing is just gut-wrenching to watch, and then to read people's just disgusting comments about it. It's sad.
So in the entertainment world, Tony Bennett is retiring. He's 95.
I love him.
He's suffering from Alzheimer's, so it was time.
Well, he's not retiring. He's just retiring from performing live.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Because of his health. 95 years old. They said doctor's orders. So and the last show he did was with Lady Gaga. I can't imagine how much money they made. Jeez.
So did I told you guys my did I tell you guys my friend was there?
Oh wow, she went to that show.
Okay, so a friend of mine was just there in New York 2 weeks ago, and her husband got her tickets, and they got to sit with them, and she got to put on Gaga's glove and see, meet Tony Bennett.
My God.
Yeah, her husband's a pretty important guy. He's like in the oil industry, right? So she got to sit with Bill Clinton and like hang out with them, and I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah,
and here I am on like literally everything she posts, I'm following. Every time she posts something, I'm just like, I'm in it.
That's pretty cool.
Living vicariously through her. So that's pretty awesome to see that. I've been to a Gaga show before, and let me tell you, the energy is incredible. So add in Tony Bennett, man, life dream right there. Yeah,
and when you see them together, like when I seen it, I was like, wow, they got such good chemistry, and she genuinely loves that. They love each other.
She loves him.
It's so awesome, and the music, you can tell the love for the music is it's just
her show.
Pretty cool.
Her show is just filled with love. It's one of the shows I've been to that you really just feel the energy from everybody. A lot of unity. I just felt so much unity at her show.
Right.
She calls out everybody, and everybody was
Yeah.
singing
She's
together.
got
Like,
a
strangers were singing
she's
together.
got
It
a
was
crazy
great.
connection with her fans, and I can't imagine being
Yes.
at the concert and
If you have a chance to ever go to one, you will
Right.
not regret it. Hands down. You don't even have to be a major
Right.
fan to go. Because I
Right,
was like,
and
yeah,
you
this
know,
will be cool. And then I'm like, is this going to be kind of
right.
weird? And then
And
when I
I'm
went,
ready. I feel like
incredible.
like Eminem is, I posted a story. He's gonna, play White Boy Rick in a series on Stars pretty soon, and I've been waiting for him to come out the
Is
woodwork
he?
and act again, because
Ooh,
I
that's
think
going
he's
to be good.
depending on what it is, and I just think that's not only is that gonna spark maybe an acting career again if he wants it, but like that means more music, possibly more so.
Stuff
Like
triggered. Yeah.
I think this
That
is
role
gonna,
is right up his alley, though.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, and I can see why
He
they
feels,
wanted him.
He feels closeness to that from,
Yeah.
where we're all from,
I'm
and
sure he
knowing
grew
the
up.
history of it.
Yeah, knowing all of that and being around it. I'm sure he was around people that knew him personally or something like that. So
My mom, friends of mine,
yeah.
so I am friends with his niece and his sister, and my mom. I met them through my mother. My mother worked with his mom for years down at downtown Detroit at Checker Bar and Grill.
Oh,
So
wow.
growing up, we just knew Rick's family and his mom, Darlene. Like, we just knew them, right? So to see his sister post, she's going to visit him, or when he's with his great nieces and nephews and gets to see the kids, I just love to see it. I love to follow his life and just see all the things that are happening for him that he deserves, and the happiness that he is finally being able to gain back. He'll never get back those years, but all the things he gets to experience right now is just incredible to watch.
Yeah, and he's in
really
shape.
is.
He's in good ass shape.
Oh my God. Incredible shape. And even like when he first got out, there was a picture, and I'll have to find it and send it to you guys, or I'll tag you in it. And he had on like his favorite old school tennis shoes and like the old school BMW, and he was like picking up my ride. I was like, that's fucking dope as shit.
That's
right. It was like the car from back in the day. It was white and it was dope as hell. I was like, oh man, that's awesome. I'll find it and tag you guys in it.
Cool.
For sure. And the reason I brought up Eminem and I was trying to connect the dots is because we were talking about, going to a concert. And like I said, when I went to with the Eminem and Jay-Z at Comerica Park, that was like one of the first major concerts I went to. And I obviously was excited to see Eminem. I love Jay-Z, but I'm not a big, Jay-Z huge fan like that. But when I went, the way he controlled the crowd was just like, I walked out of there with, like I said, I probably talked about this on one of the shows before, but just a newfound respect for him, because I was like, man, the way
whole mood.
Yeah, he had the crowd in the palm of his hand. It was just really, really cool. So.
Yeah, it's a great thing to experience.
Right. So we'll say in the entertainment world, Bob Dylan was sued for alleged sexual abusing a 12-year-old girl in 1965. He retracted, and he said that lawsuit is bogus. I'm not even there, he said. He wasn't even there. So
I read the story. I'm just, if I had to go one way, I don't think he did it. They got the freaking tour dates in the article. So
oh wait, what?
He was on tour like when that supposedly happened. So they're like, we're ready. His lawyer sounds very confident if you read the article. Like we're ready to just settle it in court, and we got all the basically the paperwork and documents that you would need. So
I don't want to discredit anybody who's a victim, right?
58 years later,
but 56 years later,
wow.
and nobody wants. It's touchy because nobody wants to discredit a victim. That's the last thing you want to do is say you weren't hurt, this didn't happen, stop, suck it the fuck up, right? You don't want to say that, but 56 years later, like if this really had a toll on you that you're saying it did, and it caused you to have this mental anguish, it took you 56 years to move on it.
That's
kind of hard to believe, especially if you've ever been through trauma before.
Right.
Like,
and they don't have the type of technology as we all seen on a Forensic Files episode or something. They don't have the same technology that back then they didn't have it back then that they do now. So it's like you better,
right.
like what proof do you have? They already laid all their proof out, but once again, proven innocent, until you're,
you don't even have like a witness or. Honestly, I'm quick to be like, take a lie detector. Take a lie detector, clear it all up.
Take a lie detector.
You think he will?
I think he wants to, redeem his name. This is horrible because
she should take one.
If this is not true, like you just shamed the guy for no reason. So
then, and if it's not true, then she should have charges pressed on her.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. But I don't. We'll see. But man,
there shouldn't be no.
Try to wait till he's at the end of his career, or prime of his career, I should say. And
right, I think they both need to take a polygraph.
Maybe.
Yeah.
So
someone's gonna come out through.
I'm a big George TAKEI fan, and he basically said, if you're not vaccinated, that you should not be. They should unvaccinated should lose priority care. What is your thought of that? He's very liberal, so he's saying if you don't have, you know what I mean. If you don't have,
he definitely beat Schwarzenegger with this post for real.
Ooh,
he didn't give a shit. He didn't care. But yeah,
not one motherfucking shit did he give.
Yeah, what's your take on it, Tori? Saying I'm not.
Hold on, before you
go ahead. Yes. Okay, you're gonna play it.
No, I like his some of his words. But...
Oh my!
So, there you go.
When I realized who it was, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I ain't seen him in forever." But yeah, go ahead, Tori. I'm sorry.
He's on Howard a lot, so that's why I like him.
Okay.
No, I kind of agree with him in the sense that we've all taken the action to try to protect each other, and we're not being selfish in that sense. Even like me, I was scared to do it. I didn't want to do it. I tossed around the ideas. My son asked me to do it, and I did it because my son wanted me to, and we talked about the reasons why, and it all made sense. Even with my background as a special needs parent, like it still scared me, but it's not about me. Not just about me. It's not just about protecting yourself. It's a public health thing.
Right.
So in a sense, I mean, can you blame them for saying that? But then in the other sense, you're like, well, if you have friends who get sick and they didn't vaccinate and you really love them, do you not want them to get the care that they need?
Right.
It's like, it's hard to say.
Yeah.
That's
a good point. Yeah.
Because we all have friends right now that are affected right now, and 9 out of 10 of them haven't been vaccinated, and we're praying to God that they're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Every day, so
I like this phrase. I like this phrase that I heard earlier talking about the
can't blame
vaccination.
them now.
And they said, and it goes like this: if you're standing on the train tracks and you see the train coming, what do? Get off the damn tracks, man. Get the shot.
The damn tracks. Fucking jump. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
And then you hear about the people who do make it, who end up, they go to the hospital and all these things happen to them and they finally pull through. And while they're laying on their close to deathbed, they say, I wish I would have just got it. Or I'm going to get it when I get out. Or, telling their family, everybody go get it now.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
there's one thing that these unvaccinated people could learn from them is that part that happens that they go through when they have their awakening, but it's kind of too late. So can you blame him for saying people are going to say, oh, that's insensitive or that's not empathetic, but no, really, I don't blame them because we all the vaccinated people, we kind of agree with them.
Yeah.
In a form, we do.
Right.
Yeah.
Truth does hurt.
I was going to say, some people look too much into it. They were talking about, we talked about Kirk Cousins not wanting to get it, hurting his team. I think all athletes should get it. you're getting paid a
Absolutely.
good amount
You
of money,
get paid
and
that fucking
you're
amount of
hurting
money.
your team. You're so there was a Washington football team player that said, "Oh, I got to look into it." Look into what? What are you talking about? He thinks there's a conspiracy.
What you been doing this whole
and Roger
fucking
Goodell,
time?
the commissioner of the NFL, Roger Goodell, he knows things and this and that. What the hell? He doesn't know what Pfizer's doing. He doesn't have connections. Like, what are you talking about, man? Like, there's just some people out there like.
Oh, while you're on football, and I'll jump to the story.
Ridiculous.
So, Falcons,
I gotta research things. What?
Falcons
What's he been doing the past year?
100% vaccinated. So
Good for them.
Yeah.
Big stuff. On the other thing, Las Vegas Raiders. Guess what? Fuck your feelings. You can't come in without a vaccination card.
Yeah, I saw that at the new
Yep.
stadium, right?
Yeah.
In Vegas.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
And I saw that if you are not vaccinated, they are offering the shot there. And
Man,
if you get the shot the first time, you can come in, but you have to wear your mask the entire time. But they're giving you your first shot, which I thought was actually pretty lenient. So there's no excuse. You know, like to say, oh, well, I didn't get it. Now I can't come and I planned on. Well, you can still come. Go on over here and get in this line. Go on and sign up. Then go get your motherfucking hot dog.
And by the time you're done, everybody will be in their seats and you can come on in.
Yeah, go get your hot dog. Put your mask up. See you at the next game for your second shot.
Right. So
if you're true to your team, you'll get the shot.
So hard.
Right?
Right. Hearts and
Unless you're a Lions fan, you might be like, I'm good. I'm going watching on TV.
I'm like, who gonna bust it out? Which one are you gonna say it? You got the diehards over here, Lions fan. You hold on, but you won't get the vaccine. Wait, what?
There you go.
Okay.
So hearts out to Haiti. The death toll is 1,500 now. They suffered a 7.2 magnitude earthquake.
What's the death toll?
1,900.
Oh.
Crazy, man.
So I think I told Tori the other day, like, God doesn't like Haiti. What is going on? Like, really?
It's you know,
for real.
They always got strategy.
For real, it's always as soon as they start to recover just a little bit, wham,
our world
massively
is
hit
right
again.
In pain, man. And it's I don't know which way to keep your head on a swivel. You know, there's so much so many things going on. It's just try to keep my head into the sports and Britney Spears Instagram page, but it's so hard when all these other things are going on.
It's hard to focus on Britney's titties when all this shit is going on.
Mute the TV or turn it off and keep swiping and shit. Nah, I'm just playing.
So we move on to MLB Field of Dreams game in 2022. They already picked. It's going to be the Cubs and the Cincinnati Reds. So
I should have put some money on that, man. At least on the Cubs. I had a feeling it would be them, but I didn't think of the Reds though. So I see what they're doing. Obviously, they're going from the AL and then they're going to the NL. So they're just gonna go back and forth.
I got a question to ask you because I looked this up today, and somebody posted about like who they picked and all that. Who's the oldest team franchise? Not necessarily in the MLB because MLB didn't start until 1901.
You mean the oldest franchises, period, out of all major sports?
Out of baseball.
Out of baseball, is it the Indians or the Black Sox when they was called the Black Sox?
Nope.
Who was it?
It was the Atlanta Braves.
I didn't. Oh wow! Okay.
That's a curveball right there. I would have never guessed them.
1872 or something. They started.
Wow.
And damn, you know what's crazy? They'll probably be next to get rid of that logo or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I thought about that with the Indians and the Redskins
that were basically a franchise before 1901.
I was like, why ain't they going after the Braves? I thought about that. And they might be next though, so who knows?
Well, they actually, to be honest with you. They started off as the Boston something, and then
They had
moved
logo, man.
Yeah,
I just didn't know they was the oldest team.
They really started in Boston, and then they ended up moving to.
You know what's crazy? A lot of teams in the beginning, they started like in Boston or New York, and a lot. That's crazy, because they, it took so long to build the league up.
Cincinnati Reds and the Cubs are one of those 10 teams. So I thought maybe they're going with the 10 oldest teams at first. Don't know.
That would have been the right thing to do, but they're not going to do that. They're going to go to the big money, So there's always going to be a big money team. So next year it'll probably be. I mean, hey, if Miguel Cabrera hits that home run, you know what I mean, and puts us on the map a little bit more, we could be the team maybe the following year. But he might be gone then. But we'll see.
So I'm going to move on to stay in baseball. So I don't even know what player it is. I thought I saw it, but some player smacked Max's ass, and he said, "Don't ever touch my fucking ass." So don't ever touch me.
Baseball.
I don't know. Is he kind of a diva, Alex?
You know what?
Wait a second. Isn't that what you guys do in baseball? Like they smack each other's asses.
What it was, Tori. He said somebody.
Touch
they
me.
told him. He said he put it like this. He doesn't need. And he didn't say it like they're still friends, obviously, but in the moment, don't do that, because he was just like, I don't need. He goes, I this is a job. I'm here to do a job. I don't need to be congratulated to do a job that's what I'm here to do. So he was just, I just thought it was funny. I was just like, wow. And then one of the other players, when they were going back to the dugout, kind of. It was like I better, I'm gonna do it, but I better not.
Like fake smack, like
it was kind of
faking
funny,
it out.
So.
You say don't fucking touch me, like he actually said that.
Well, I mean, you know what? I mean, I didn't take too much into it. He came off the bump. His adrenaline's pumping, man, and sometimes things like that. I mean, I guess that's how he is. He's a little bit. He's
a dick. He sounds like a dick.
Yeah.
After he left the Tigers, I noticed that I don't know. He seems like a good guy. He did a lot for Detroit over here, so I don't want to knock him or nothing. But it seemed like maybe that second contract, that big bundle that he got, he kind of he was more outspoken and stuff like that. So
sounds to me like he didn't get his ass or his balls grabbed.
I was a little
now
surprised
he's just uptight.
that he said that, but I didn't really, you know what I mean. I was just like,
you're in fucking baseball. That's like the main sport they smack.
Like he just got traded over there for another big bag, and I'm like, damn man, what the hell? I was kind of like, but I just don't like to be touched. I guess I don't know.
I love a good smack on the ass. I don't understand.
I've never seen nothing like that, so that's why I love baseball. You always see something different, man, in baseball.
Famous hometown Jack Morris, Minnesota Twins. Jack Morris suspended indefinitely after using accent as.
I shouldn't laugh, but
Tommy came to bat.
You did,
I'm gonna play this real quick.
I'm laughing because I couldn't believe the way it's
like, what the fuck?
Tigers announcer Jack Morris says this.
Now what do you do with Shohei Ohtani?
Be very careful. He's now obviously under heavy scrutiny. I mean, what were you thinking, bro?
Oh.
You're a fucking Hall of Fame pitcher in a nationally televised broadcast. You have to have some common sense. And of course, Twitter went wild immediately. As you can see by these comments. Jack.
So, suspended indefinitely. Another guy that gets made, Ohtani gets made fun of. So, ESPN makes fun of him, right? Fucking Stephen A. Smith. Now, Jack Morris. Are they a little jealous because he's the fucking man? What is going on?
I think he did sound like Elmer Fudd a little bit. I will say that.
I think he
like
just
an
made.
Asian
I think
Elmer
he just
Fudd.
made.
Am I the only one that caught Asian Elmer Fudd
Right?
vibes?
No, I can hear that.
Okay, I was just checking.
Right,
Go ahead. Sorry to
right.
interrupt.
No, you're right. That's funny as hell. Now that I
I was
think
like,
about it,
where
but
is he Elmer
I
Fudd?
mean,
Or is
hey,
that,
he
where
spit it
have I
out a
heard this
line.
before? Well, Elmer Fudd says very, very
I'm
quiet,
hunting.
right?
I'm hunting a
He says
rabbit.
quiet, I'm hunting
Be
rabbit, right?
very, very.
So I was like, wait a second, this sounds like I've heard this
He
before.
actually did. I didn't think about that.
But he did it in an Asian voice, which was fucked up. Yeah, he tried to mock him.
Yeah, I couldn't believe my ears.
He definitely tried to mock him.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he made
did
a
terrible
terrible job at throwing out a sense of humor line, and it's not that's
Can we
not
play
going
it
to be funny.
again?
So he's going to bias training. They say indefinitely.
Be quiet. I'm hunting rabbits. Rabbit tracks.
See, there's a little bit of a resemblance there.
Kill the rabbit. Kill the rabbit.
Kill the rabbit.
Okay. Yeah, that's so fucked up. I'm not trying to make light of it, but I always got to point some shit out.
Yeah,
here.
I mean, if you're going to do an impersonation of mocking somebody, then
if you're going to get fired and banned forever, at least go out with a fucking bang. Make it worth it, you fucking idiot.
So they sent him to like bias. He's going to do bias training and stuff like that. Yeah. But when I hear indefinitely, that means you're fired, usually. So I don't know.
That means don't call us, we'll call you.
I think, and I'm not being biased because he's a Tiger guy or whatever, but I mean, I think that was a little too much. He might be, you know, I posted the story and said he's always been known of a little wild card and racist remarks he's made throughout his whole career and stuff like that. But I mean, as far as broadcasting goes, this is the first mistake he's ever made like that, broadcasting. So I think indefinitely is a little bit too much, but you know what? He might, they say they might bring him back, but I mean, he might sit back and be like, you know what? I got enough money, man. I don't need to do this. I don't need to do this shit. So comes back or not. I don't think he's that good on color commentary, to be honest with you. But so we'll see. You know, that just depends if Matt Shepard says, hey, you know, I would like to have him back or something like that. So made a mistake, man. Everybody deserves a second chance. And like I said, that's the first time he said something on air, broadcasting wise. So in his broadcasting career.
You know, but think about how many times people have heard him off air. So they're probably like, there's probably so many people that are like, fucking finally.
Yeah.
So do you remember how long Hogan was banned?
Still not good. Not
good. When he dropped the N-word? How long was
he banned?
What do you mean? Just recently? I mean, a few years ago?
It was when he was with the, remember?
You mean when his daughter was?
No, Harlem Heat, and he dropped it in the promo.
You're talking about Booker T.
Yeah, Booker T.
Yeah. Nothing happened to him. Nothing happened to him.
No, Hulk Hogan.
When he said that about the guy, when he got recorded.
Oh, okay.
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, he said, how long was he suspended for?
You remember?
I mean, they just cut all ties with him, man. They took everything they had to do with. They took stuff off the network.
Yeah.
Anything they had, they just attached their name with him because they had to. But obviously, you've seen he just came back at WrestleMania. What was that, April or March? Mm-hmm. So I mean, second chances, man. I mean, I guess I still think that he should have went out and did. You know, I think you should go out when you do something like that. Go out and speak to kids or do something of a sort, man, and you know, not and actually
wrong.
Mean it. Yeah, actually, you know,
but
wrong
do
it when you mean it.
Yeah, and mean it, and
go speak not just to any group of kids. Go speak to whatever race you just mocked or you just offended. Yeah. Go speak to he should have. Mark Henry actually reached out to him and was waiting for him to respond back. He said, "Look, we can get together. I can go. You can go to a school. I take you to a couple schools. You can speak." He tried to reach out and help Hogan because he goes, "Look, at the end of the day, he goes, I grew up a Hulk Hogan fan, just like anybody else, no matter the color." He goes, "So right, you're wrong, and you know, it's there. It's maybe on the table.
Need some education. Yeah, we're offering education for you."
And he chose not to do that, and I think that was a bad
fucked up.
And that's why he kind of got a little booze when he came out. Still, people don't forget shit like that. So, you know,
All right. So, Mickey still at $4.99. Do you think he'll hit one tonight?
I don't know. I kind of hope he doesn't today because I might go down there tomorrow. I'm thinking about going and just being around the ballpark. I don't know.
I want to go.
Special,
I wanted to
I'm
go
wearing my
so
Triple Crown
bad.
shirt, so
I'm gonna ask you a question. I asked my dad earlier when I was talking to him. I said, "So, what do you think he ends his career? He has 2 years left." And he's like, "I think he's gonna hit 530." What do you think?
That's a good number. I agree with your dad. I could agree with your dad. I would say about like 5. I would go with like 520, maybe between 520, 525. But I don't know. Just as long as he stays healthy. They keep him in the DH, man.
I said 600. He goes, "Oh fuck no! What's wrong with you?"
Yeah, he'd have to play like at least another 4 years or something like that, and stay healthy.
Good. He's doing good because he's watching the game. He gets pissed, but he's
at home watching the game.
He's home now, and he's
awesome.
good.
Yeah,
that's so awesome. I know he feels like $1 million being back home.
Yeah. All right, we'll move on to the NBA. So I know you put this. So did they find with Luka Garza? Did they find their Bill Laimbeer? Because they signed him to a 2-year, I guess a 2-way contract. So I don't even know what a 2-way contract.
Man, he was busting his ass in the summer league.
Was he?
So there was no way that they were not going to be able to keep him on the team. I love this guy, man. He reminds me a little bit of Bill Laimbeer just because of the way he runs and then just his soft touch that he has. And yeah, man, I can't wait to watch him. You know, like I said, he kind of reminds me of like, you know, he's going to be our 6th man. Okay. I could see him starting.
He said he's got a soft touch.
Depending on he's
finessing it.
You gotta check him out. You're gonna he's gonna be fun to watch. But I could see him coming off more likely as the 6th man. So we'll see, man. I'm real excited about that. But yeah, 2-year deal. So
that's cool.
Congratulations to him, man. There
you go. So the other story, we'll move on to NBA or NFL. Tim Tebow, dreams come to an end.
Yeah, I think he made like one good block in training camp or in a preseason game, and yeah, I mean, I watched.
He was such a college sensation. He goes to the NFL and he just flops. What I mean,
mediocre. Yeah.
I mean, you're gone from the league for 8 years, man, and then you come back, and like I said, and I don't want to go down that hole, but you know, there was some things that were said about like if that would have been anybody else after 8 years and, you know, you didn't know the head coach, would you have gotten that opportunity, that shot like that? So
that part.
I don't know. I mean, hey, you can't knock the guy for trying though. So he did.
Guy for trying.
And yeah, I don't know.
All right,
I don't want to see him commentating on commentary either because he's not good. but
don't do that.
Hopefully he does good in whatever else he does next. I'm sure we ain't seen the last of him, man.
Yeah, Tebow.
No.
So we'll end the show with the Rams versus the Chargers. Insane fight. This guy gets his ass kicked.
Did you guys both see that?
I don't know.
What happened?
There he is. Yeah, you see his face?
We want to see. No. There was just a fight there was a fight at a game, and it was ridiculous. I was like, oh my God, what is wrong? How
did I miss that?
It was a sight to see. It was like 3-4 rows fighting of like a group of people. Like it just started spreading. It just started spreading. And there was one big guy, and there was like 4
knocking
people.
motherfuckers out, right? And what game was this at?
Jamil Hill, former ESPN analyst. She had a tweet that was
sorry, I thought I had it on the screen.
No, start that from the beginning.
You know
what? You have to go to Twitter to watch the whole thing.
All I thought about, man, was are you kidding me? There's kids there, man. I mean,
Did you see all
the fight?
Such bullshit.
Stafford jerseys?
LA. Damn.
Are you on Twitter,
Chargers?
Tori? Do you have a Twitter?
Yeah, she does.
I do.
I'll send you the
I need
link
to get a
and
little
you can
better
check
at using it. I really,
Right.
every day I say that. And I have people follow
Right.
me on there. I'm terrible about posting, but I've really
Right.
I'm making it a conscious effort. I have a date that I'm like, okay,
Right.
this is the day that I'm going to start really being good
Well,
at
if you
it.
do
I'm going
stuff
to have a
off
link tree.
Instagram, you can send it
do.
to there, and then I had to teach myself too. So I would send stuff from Instagram or together, and then I would go
I
there
can
and be
link
like,
it.
okay, you
Look at
can't do
this. You
this,
guys
you can
got to
do
teach
that.
me
You gotta do
technology. I don't know nothing about this shit.
Copy and paste master, I am.
Copy and paste.
So from
All right.
Instagram, I can just share it right to Twitter, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, I'll send you the link for
What
that
the
fight.
fuck?
It was insane. I think that's so crazy, man.
Crazy.
It's got to stop. That's got to stop.
It really does. That
Hope they
looks
ban
rowdy as
everybody
shit.
from that.
That looks so crazy. Definitely send me the link.
I was like, there goes your.
I
There
want
goes
to
your.
see.
There goes your football seasons, bozos.
Fuckers.
Or
Bozo
football
face.
season.
Yeah.
So we'll end
You
the
got,
thing.
you got vaccinated for nothing. No,
Yeah,
I'm just kidding.
Right. Right.
Fuck.
This is Alex's
Bought that
top
jersey for nothing.
the coolest and the ugliest sports logos coming up this Saturday. Make sure you guys tune in 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time, Detroit time. You guys will see the show. Once again, thanks for guys for the 1 year anniversary. Thanks for all the people watching, listening, downloading the podcast. I appreciate
Getting the merch, all of it.
all that. Definitely. Mondays is my show. It is same time, 5:30 as our Wednesday show, 5:30.
Hey, you know, I got that
30.
copywritten, right? Your next episode, I got that copywritten, man. You can't use that. No, I'm just playing. I just want. I love it.
Do men, and the topic is, do men and women like to eat ass?
I'll be chiming in on that one.
Me too.
I'll be chiming in on
Thanks
that
for
one.
watching, Fallon. You have a beautiful night as well.
Yeah, so that's pretty much all I have. You can watch us everywhere on all platforms. You can listen to us on all the favorite podcasts, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, everywhere. So thanks, guys, for tuning in tonight. Make sure you guys are washing your hands, wearing a mask, and washing your ass. So let me play this video and we get out.
Get my LL Cool J on real quick.
Hey.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. You have a safe and great night. Peace out. You guys take it easy. See you on
Go
Saturday.
MIggy.
There it is.
Guys, good night.
There it is.